The legislative branch makes the laws.
Nope. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
The
Start over.
legislative branch makes the laws for our country. The legislative branch of our Congress is made up of both the House of Representatives and the Senate. The Senate. The House of Representatives is larger than the Senate and is made of representatives from all 50 states. The larger the state, the more representatives are in the House, for a total of 435 representatives. The other body of Congress is known as the Senate. Each state elects 2 representatives to go to the Senate, whether the state is larger or smaller. So there are 100 senators. The Senate gives the okay for presidential nominations for government offices, and they are the only ones who can do this. The legislative branch is where all the laws for our country begin.
Okay. Now that you're ready, you know the words now. I want you to read it again. I want you to get off the chair, and I want you to be loud and clear. At this point, you can be as loud as you like without being extremely silly. You ready? Go.
The legislative branch makes the laws for our country. The legislative branch, or Congress, is made up of both the House of Representatives and the Senate. The House of Representatives is larger than the Senate and is made up of representatives from all 50 states. The larger the state, the more representatives are in the House, for a total of 435 representatives. The other body in Congress is known as the Senate. Each state elects 2 representatives to go to the Senate, whether the state is large or small. So there are 100 senators. The Senate gives the okay for presidential nominations for senators. The presidential nominations for government office, and they are the only ones who can do this. The legislative branch is where all the laws for our country begin.
Thank you very much, LeBron. Okay, so in the first paragraph, what I want you to keep in mind is that the Constitution is what provides us the right and the freedom to choose our government. Okay? The Constitution. The Constitution was written September 17th, 1787. Okay? Inside the Constitution, it talks about checks and balances, which we've talked about that before. And to ensure the checks and balances, so that no one person has too much power, to make sure they give you these 3 branches of government that are supposed to work together to make sure that no one branch of government gets more power than the other branch of government. The second paragraph is talking specifically about the legislative branch. What are the 3 branches of government again? Sam, are you finished?
legislative, judicial.
Legislative, judicial, and executive. Why would you put your work down and pick up some paper? And that ain't what's up. Pick your paragraph back up. The second, because I'm about to talk about that. Put the paper down. The second paragraph is talking about the legislative branch, or what's another name for the legislative branch? It tells you in the paragraph. Congress. Legislative branch or Congress. Congress is made up of two different entities. The Senate and the House of Representatives. So, I wish I had this up, but I don't. That's okay. So, when the House of Representatives, there's 50 states, right? So, if there's 50 states, let's not talk about the House of Representatives, we're going to talk about the Senate first. So, there's 50 states, right? For the Senate portion, they get 2 people from each state to represent them. We talked about that the other day, representation. So, each state gets 2 people. So, how many senators is that? 100. There are 100 senators, 2 for each state. Don't be silly, because you will be next. And then, the House of Representatives has how many? 435. So the Senate has 100, and the House of Representatives has 435. The paragraph tells you why they have 435. Can somebody please tell me, why are there more?
Because the bigger the state, the more
that part. So there's not an even number like the Senate and the House of Representatives. Thank you, LeBron. Rashawn, it's your turn. It's the same thing, bro. Nothing's changed. And anyway, when you go up there, your back is to the camera, so.
His back was to the camera?
That's his choice. It's up to you. I think, do you not want to be on camera, or you just don't want to get up?
Are you putting it on YouTube?
Go ahead.
The other ones were on YouTube.
Go ahead, sir.
You are.
Capper.
You are.
Let's go, Rashawn.
I'm putting it on YouTube.
Next branch of government is the Supreme Court.
It's the what?
The next branch of government is the judicial branch. The Supreme Court is at the top of the judicial branch and is in charge of evaluating laws.
So the legislative branch makes the laws, and now we have the judicial branch, which is evaluating. Go ahead.
Yes. The Supreme Court makes all the top decisions for the nation.
Every time you start reading, you start yawning.
I don't know why.
Go ahead.
It enforces and determines what the Constitution actually meant.
Okay, so I have to push pause right there. The Supreme Court. There's more than the Supreme Court. There's a whole bunch of different courts.
Yes.
You have your district court. You have your whatever. I don't even know all of them. We'll get to that at a later time.
The Supreme Court is the highest court.
But the Supreme Court is the highest court. So let's say.
Seconds before.
I'm trying to think of a case that's well known that went to the Supreme Court, but all I can think about is Roe versus Wade for some reason. And Roe versus Wade has to do with abortion rights. So when a woman gets pregnant, they're trying to say, does she have the right to kill the baby before the baby is born? Or is the baby already developed, so you can't kill the baby? Yeah. Y'all could have been toast.
No, you
Toast.
and me could have been dead.
But we made it, right?
Girls are doing
That has nothing to do with that at all.
I could have been dead. Y'all could have
That's
never
not even what we're
That's
talking about.
not what we're talking about.
Yeah, she wants to bring it up. Ashley,
Everybody, Ashley Special, she almost died.
Okay, Ashley. Can you tell us what you mean? Do you want to go on camera or no?
Yes.
I knew she did.
Freaking weirdo.
Hurry up, cause you only
Attention
got
all.
you only got 30 seconds.
Okay.
Turn around, boo boo.
Look at your freaking.
I was in the hospital. I don't remember anything.
Shut up!
No, shut up. I told you I'm tired of that. LeBron, thank you for your input. Go ahead, Ashlyn.
Thank you for his input. You can shut up too.
Go ahead, back there.
Okay. When I was a little girl.
You was doing great. Go
No, she
ahead and
wasn't.
try.
Don't
Wait,
worry,
she-
Ashley. She's
Because
not
you have to have confidence, and you only got 60. LeBron, hush. You only got 60 seconds. Go ahead.
Don't worry, it's not going to YouTube.
Go ahead. Turn around with the ponytail on.
Okay. When I wasn't born and I was about to be born, I was about to die because I was sick when I was a baby. And
Tell them that you only weighed 1 pound when you were born.
And you was the size of a hand. You fit right there, baby.
Okay, are you gonna say that? Don't worry about what he says.
and
I was only 1 pound, but me and my mama made it. We was both about to die.
we was both about to die, but luckily we lived. Because we can only thank who make us alive for God.
Oh, very good. Now sit down. Go, Rashawn. Sit down, LeBron.
Wasting all our freaking time.
Thank
The Supreme
you, Ashley.
Court
You did
makes
great.
all of the top decisions for the nation. It enforces and determines what the Constitution actually meant. Everyone must follow the decisions made by the Supreme Court, even other courts. The Supreme Court was given the power by the Constitution to decide whether federal, state, and local governments are following previous laws that were made. They can also decide if the president is following the Constitution. They are the only ones who hold this power.
Okay. So the Constitution also says the right to bear arms. And that's one of the things that they debate all the time. What exactly does the Constitution mean by that? So when a state or local or state local government can't decide, then it goes all the way to the Supreme. If the state, local, and federal can't work it out, then it goes all the way to the Supreme Court. And then they have to go through the Constitution, and then they're in charge of determining.
Actually, get the chair, get the chair.
They're in charge of determining. They're in charge of determining what the Constitution actually meant. So they're the final say in what the Constitution actually meant. We will be reading the Constitution again. When it was written in 1787, it really wasn't written for black people. Over time, but anyway, I digress. Okay, so Ashley, get down.
I just said that.
Stop. So the Second Amendment talks about right to bear arms. What does that mean to you?
I can carry a gun on me for protection, or a knife, or whatever.
Why do you have to use a knife? That's not good.
I was going somewhere when I mentioned that, but then it just went away, which I'm not surprised. But does that mean to bear arms? Does that mean to fight with your arm?
No.
Does that mean to fight that you have the ability to protect yourself?
Yes, mother.
Or protect yourself with a gun?
Yes, mother. Somebody's messing with you. I'm shooting in the freaking head.
What if I don't agree with you? What if I say,
Supreme Court, mother. Come on.
okay, great. You see where I'm going with that? Okay.
No, I don't.
You do. You actually do. Go ahead. And to tell your mom that she talks too much when she's trying to educate your, I'm not gonna do it.
Next
Go ahead.
page.
Go ahead, LeBron. You're next. I
Talking
don't
about.
even hear what you have to say. You always so negative. Go ahead.
The final branch of government is the
Executive.
executive branch. The executive branch actually carries out the laws
So
decided
we have
upon
one
the
who creates them, one who.
confirms them and ones that change.
No, I mean, like, make sure they're okay fair.
So we have one who
One
creates
who makes
them,
one who checks if they're right and whatever, and then one confirms them. So they're saying,
Carries it out. Okay, go ahead.
wait, so if all of them agree on something that's not fair, they can all agree on it and make an unfair law?
Say what, you want me to listen to you? Is that what you want me to do? What did you say?
So if all of the branches happen to be bad and make bad laws and they all agree, that'll be a law?
Pretty much. It's a lot of laws that I don't necessarily agree with, but it don't matter because I'm not.
And I got a paper cut on mine.
Okay, that's great. Just how you want me to listen to you, that's what I expect from you. Close your mouth. Go ahead, LeBron.
The final branch of the government is the executive branch.
You can take your paper up there and show it to the camera. I don't even know what that last letter is.
That's 13.
Oh, it is?
The
Okay.
executive
You
branch.
can just show it to the camera. Everything quietly. Go ahead.
Okay.
Quiet. Go. Go ahead, LeBron.
The final branch of the government is the executive branch. The executive branch actually carries out the
What color
laws
is it?
decided upon
With
the
crayons.
legislative branch and evaluated the
It looks
judicial branch.
What color?
The executive branch is made up of the president, the vice president, and the presidential.
I just told you to
cabinet.
color with. I
The
just told you to
citizens
color
of
with
the
crayon.
United-
I'm sorry. I just told you to color with crayon. Oh, I did. Start over, LeBron. I'm so sorry. Do not interrupt anymore. Go ahead.
The final branch of the government is the executive branch. The executive branch actually carries out the laws decided upon the legislative branch and evaluated by the judicial branch. The executive branch is made up of the president, vice president, and the presidential cabinet. And the citizens of the United States have the right to vote for both the president and the vice president once the president is elected. They have the choice to appoint the president.
Presidential cabinet.
Makes good decisions.
What?
Wait, the presidential cabinet. The presidential cabinet gives advice to the president to help him or her make good decisions. Him or her make good decisions. The presidential cabinet does have to.
Does not.
Does have to.
Oh, does. Sorry.
Does have to be approved by the Senate. The president is the leader of the United States and serves for 4 years. They can be elected for office again, but only up to a total of 2 times. The president cannot.
So how many years can a person be a president?
8.
Okay.
But can you be elected again in the near future?
You can only be a president for 8 years. Period.
But I guess they can change the law if they want to.
The president is the leader of the United States and serves for 4 years. They can be elected for office again, but only up to a total of 2 times. The president cannot make decisions on his own thought.
Though. The president cannot make decisions on his own, though.
They have to be by the vice president.
Then we got this president, I ain't gonna say no name, who feel like he can do everything on his own. Go ahead. Which he is defying the checks and balances. You have a perfect example. This has not happened.
Why is he not out of office right now?
Go ahead.
This country's doomed. Just for not getting him out of
The
office.
president cannot make, like,
Yeah, that's right.
the president cannot make decisions on his own, though. Most of the decisions he or she makes have to be approved through Congress. The vice president supports the president in the decisions that they make. If for some reason the president can no longer serve in his or her position, the vice president would then take over. only 9 vice presidents have ever been able to serve as president.
Okay, so there's a couple of things I wanted to make note of. It says most of the decisions he or she makes have to be approved through Congress. Okay? And Congress, again, is the House of Representatives and the Senate. Right now, as we speak, back in June, I believe it was June, I think it was June, back in June of this year, they sent stimulus money to everybody. So, when I say stimulus money, the Congress approved a package because of Corona, because of unemployment, to send out to citizens. Okay?
Did you get that?
I did.
How much was it?
It's for adults.
How
And you're
much
12.
was it though?
Okay,
You still get it?
so they approved that. Okay? They sent the money out. Most people were already behind on their bills. Most people, it's gone. If anybody still got stimulus money, I'll be very shocked. Matter of fact, if you still have stimulus money, comment below.
You
Okay,
don't.
mother.
Nobody's watching anyway.
Miss nobody. Miss you not posting on YouTube. Miss you freaking.
Okay,
Oh yeah,
so
nobody's watching this, but go subscribe to LeBron One.
now
And her brothers 100.
Now they want to send out another stimulus package. They want to send out another one.
Go ahead.
But guess what?
Donald Trump.
Congress and the House of Representatives can't agree. So it's at a standstill. It's just, and a lot of bills right now are just at a standstill. Because Congress
Why they don't?
has become like,
You're-
what? Tell me two people who don't like each other. Congress has became like
Donald Trump.
4K Trey
Mom,
and
nobody-
Shot
Oh.
You give me an example.
Hold on. I got one.
You give me an
I
example
know.
of two things that just can't agree. Go ahead.
Donald Trump and the other person.
Joe Biden.
Yeah, Joe Biden.
Scissors and rocks.
Casual play.
Congress is just as bad as Donald Trump and Biden.
Just
There we
bad
go.
as scissors
Hey,
and
I
rocks.
said
As
that.
bad as sweats and casuals.
I said that.
Congress is just like oil and water right now. They don't
Casuals
mix.
and
They
sweats.
can't come together.
They can't come together, bro.
Oil and water cannot come together.
Casuals, sweats.
So that's a better analogy.
Fresh and laser beam.
Unfortunately, the other analogy was the first thing that came to my head, so stop hating. Okay, so that's why the second stimulus hasn't been passed, because they can't agree. Hopefully, after he gets out of office, we can get some stuff done, because the
I need some money.
okay, so then you can also have a majority. Okay, so if you have
I cannot see it.
if you have 100 seats in the Senate, right?
Yep.
2 from each state. It's probably going to be a Democrat and a Republican. Okay? So that should be 50 Democrats, 50 Republicans. Okay? But right now, is the Senate the 50-50? We all in this together.
I don't know.
They are.
Mom,
They are.
Mom, why were they saying no to this checks though?
Who?
Why were they saying no? Why did they disagree?
My opinion, they were saying no to the checks because Donald Trump probably wanted to use the money for something else, or they don't want to agree.
Y'all can
Before-
print money.
Or right before an election, they get real stupid.
They can print money.
They get real stupid. We'll talk about that in a minute.
Print
So,
money.
so in the Senate right now, they have a majority. Or do they? No, in the House of Representatives, they have a majority. In the Senate, the Republicans have a majority right now. Right? So they have an election. They have an election
to vote.
in Atlanta right now. to determine it's a Democrat and a Republican going against each other, right? So you can have 2 seats, but I'm assuming they don't have to be one Democrat and one Republican if somebody has a majority. So in Atlanta, they have this election that's coming up. The determination of this election will say who has the majority in the Senate. So, just FYI. And we'll watch a video in a minute to explain it better. Okay. So, next after that, I wanted to say, okay, it says, if for some reason the president, you have a seat, can no longer serve in his or her position, the vice president will take over. So if something were to happen, then the vice president will take over. Anybody want to think of some stuff that could happen? Death.
Murder.
They go hand in hand.
Murder and
So
death.
if a president is assassinated, which we've only had one assassinated, then the vice president will take the
They
role.
kill people from Corona.
What if the vice president kills
The vice president becomes the president.
What if the vice president
Okay.
kills the president?
Uh,
Become the president.
That hasn't happened, but I will say this. If the president gets in some type of trouble, like with the law too, you know what I'm saying? He gets convicted of something, then the vice president would be
Mom,
that person
what
as
if
well.
2 people are in an election, right? 2 people, right?
Uh-huh.
One person becomes
Sit down,
president,
bro.
right? The person that loses, right, becomes the vice president.
It doesn't work that way. The person who is the president chooses their vice president. Most of the time, the 2 people running are running on different principles anyway. That's why you have 2 different parties. It doesn't work that way. So, right now we have Vice President Biden. Excuse me. He is former Vice President Biden.
See, he was vice
Because this is one of those situations where
What if he was the vice president, right? And then
He
became
was
the president.
the vice-
No, and then he became the president once the president died. And then he became the president. And
you
then
can only be
after
the
he
president for
voted,
2 terms.
So
No matter what.
But how much vice president terms?
The same. It's the same.
So
But
But
it's
he-
very
he- he-
interesting.
Can you be a
I
vice president
believe.
twice and be a president
Donald
twice?
Trump
Huh?
is
Can you be a
already.
vice president twice and be
no,
a
I
president?
know.
Yes.
I know how you can be
You
a
can.
president 3 times.
He was the vice president. Hey, have a seat,
So that
man.
means be
Have a seat, man. You can still talk. Have a seat.
Be the president twice, be a vice
Be
president.
quiet.
And then you get rid of the president and you're president 3 times in a row.
What?
No, be the president 2 times, right? Then you become a vice president.
I don't think you
The
can go.
president
I don't think you
dies.
can go from president to vice president.
You go vice president to president?
You can go vice president to president, but you can't go
So
president
you
to
can't,
vice
so you
president.
can't get the 3-year thingy glitched.
But listen to what I'm saying.
Yes, you can. It should happen.
President.
No, you can't.
Listen. Why do we call
You
him
can.
former? Why are we calling him former Vice President
Because he
Biden?
already was
He
the vice
was the vice
president.
president.
Who was he the vice president for?
Freaking, what's his name?
Barack
Obama.
Barack Obama. And Barack Obama was the president for 2 years.
Still not
I mean,
vice-
for 2 terms, 8 years. So he was the vice president of this country for 8 years.
I'm trying to be a president.
And
for
not
8
even
years.
that long ago, the 8 years before Trump, he was the vice president. That's why they said they made him the best candidate for a president who's corrupt. For Vice President Biden to go right in, he already is accustomed to what goes on. He can go right in and get to work on trying to fix things. If that happens. January 20th is the date he's supposed to go into office.
So, you're vice
So right now they're calling him President-elect.
Yes, mother.
But before they call him President-elect, they call him former Vice President. So he's had all them different terms.
I don't want to be president
So if
for like
you're the
12 years.
vice president, somebody kills the regular president, so you become the president, and then after your term is done for being president, can you run for president again? Because you was already vice president.
No, but then,
Yes.
but then that's 8
See?
years.
See? That's 3 years of her.
Wait,
Wait, hold up.
You not.
You just said yes. If you're the vice president, somebody kills the president, you become president, right?
Right.
After that, you can run for president again because you was already vice president. You said it doesn't become president, then vice president. You said it becomes vice president and 2 president. Right. So that can be 3 years.
We're gonna put that pause. I don't think that works that way.
This is what I'm saying.
I don't think it works that way.
Let's do 2
I
terms.
think-
Let's do 2 terms technically.
We would have to look in history books to see has that
It's
ever
only-
happened.
The only way to get 3 terms.
Matter of fact,
the only way to
plug-
get 3 terms was
Fuck up.
the only way to get 3 terms was the one I said. My mom said you could.
I just said the one that you said, but in reverse. You said.
Yeah, you
It won't
said
work like that.
you said it the other way.
I just said that. It's not gonna work the way he said it.
What's the way you said it?
The other way that you said it. He didn't say the same thing.
So you
I know
said
that.
you're the president.
I'm saying the way he said it's not gonna work like that. Cause you can't get 3 terms
No,
like that.
I know for sure the way you said it ain't gonna work.
You said if you're the president and then become president, do 2 years and do the vice president, somebody
2
becomes
years.
president, and then you do another year because somebody becomes president.
I'm not sure if that way will work. I don't think it will, Rashawn, but I'm not sure. I just know for sure yours wouldn't work, but I'm not sure. Okay, so let's say the president died. Ask Alexa who replaced President Kennedy when he died.
Alexa,
Finish your work.
who replaced John F. Kennedy when he died?
Here's something I found on reference.com. United States President John F. Kennedy was assassinated by Lee Harvey Oswald, who was a worker at the Texas School Depository, on November 22, 1963. The gunman was also arrested for the murder of Patrolman J.D. Tippit a few moments after shooting the president.
You are so smart, Alexa.
Alexa, who replaced John F. Kennedy in the presidential spot? And yeah, that correct.
Sit down, LeBron.
Sorry, I don't know that one.
Sit down. Alexa, who was the vice president for John F. Kennedy?
John F. Kennedy's vice president was Lyndon B. Johnson.
Alexa, was Lyndon B. Johnson ever the president?
Yes. According to Wikipedia, Lyndon Baines Johnson, often referred to by his initials LBJ, was an American politician who served as the 36th President of the United States from 1963 to 1969, and previously as 37th Vice President from 1961 to 1963. He assumed the presidency following the assassination of President John
You gotta
F.
say that
Kennedy.
again, Alexa. Alexa.
She said 1963 to
Start
1969.
over.
That's 6 years. What is
Starting
that?
over.
Did she start herself all the way over? Bitch, I can't. Alexa, was Lyndon B. Johnson ever the president?
Yes. According to Wikipedia, Lyndon Baines Johnson, often referred to by his initials LBJ, was an American politician who served as the 36th President of the United States from 1963 to 1969, and previously as 37th Vice President from 1961 to 1963. He assumed the presidency following the assassination of President John F. Kennedy.
Okay, so he was vice
6
president from
years.
61 to 63. So he was vice president for 2 years, which is not 8. It ain't even 4. So 2 years into John F. Kennedy's presidency, yeah, he was pop. If Alexa,
Oh, so that's just carrying on because
Alexa.
is 8.
Alexa,
Right, hold up.
when was John F. Kennedy president?
John F. Kennedy was President of the United States between January 20th, 1961 and November 22nd, 1963.
Okay, so yeah, I just wanted to make sure he wasn't president prior to that. Okay, so
But 6 plus 2 is 8. So John Kennedy probably will serve 2 years.
huh?
He was the vice president was president for 6 years, right?
No. Listen to what I'm saying. So, look at the JFK stuff I just wrote up there. John F. Kennedy became president January 20th. What does this look like? Somebody tell me about this.
January 20th. I don't know.
It's the same thing I was just telling y'all a second ago when that other nigga got to get up out the office. So you have an election in November. Anybody know what's the election date for November?
November
11.
Tuesday.
Wrong.
November the 11th.
What Tuesday? The first
No,
Tuesday.
it's October.
It's the first Tuesday
Of
in November. The first Tuesday.
I think it was Monday.
First Tuesday in November. Every time. If it's the first Tuesday, of course it's going to fall on different dates depending on the year. But the first Tuesday in November. Okay. So, and then from November, from that Tuesday in November to January 20th, that's that wait in between. That presidency, that's that wait in between. Actually, they're supposed to be cooperating in the transition. You know, here, I'm going to give you the keys to this. Come on in, get yourself acquainted. But it's not going on because Donald Duck won't. He won't do it. He's the first president who won't do the transition. Now, there have been presidents who did not disagree because they're from different parties. But during this time, they always were respectful. See, you have to have the type of candor.
Kind of surprise.
That word just came to my mind. So, Alexa, what is candor?
Candor is usually defined as the state or quality of being frank, open, and sincere in speech or expression. Candidness. For more, ask me to give you more definitions for
That actually may not be the
candor.
right word. But anyway, moving on.
No,
So-
no, 'cause the vice president for John F. Kennedy, right? He became president, but for only 6 years.
That's what, no, this is what I'm about to tell you right now. Turn around and look. So, John F. Kennedy he started president January 20th of 1961. So from 1961 in January to November of 1963, he was the president until he was shot in 1963. So from 61 to 63, that's only 2 years. He was only the president for 2 years. You can be the president for 8. So he didn't even make it through his first term. Because each term is 4 plus 4 equals 8. You can have 2 terms. So he wasn't even the president for a full term. He got shot right in the middle of his term. His first term. And you don't have to be the president twice. You could be a one-term president if your ass get voted out, which is what happened to Donald Trump. Donald Trump has only been a president for 4 years. He's managed to fuck up the country in 4 years.
But then he could come back in 22.
He can. That's what he's trying. This weight game he got, he's trying to get enough money to run again in 2024. But I will predict that he will be in jail by then.
He need money to run?
If not dead.
He need money to run for president?
Yeah, he don't have any. He didn't have any when he came.
How much do you need to run?
You have to campaign. No,
I need money to run for president. That's a
we ain't gonna go. We're not gonna go into the money thing because it's not really their money. They campaign. They get people to donate to their. Okay.
That's some bullcrap.
So in 2 years he was shot dead. At the time, JFK picked LBJ for his vice president. So he became vice president January 20th, just like John F. Kennedy. He became vice president. When he died, so he was already vice president for 2 years.
So he just went for 2 years?
He was already vice president for 2 years.
So he was only president.
Okay, so
for 6 years.
So he was vice president for 2 years. Then he became president. Okay? So they said he was
only 2 years.
They said he was the 36th. Hold on. They said he was the 37th vice president, 1961-63. Then in 1963 to 69, he was the president. So 63 to 69 is how many years?
6 years.
6. Which is not a full 8.
So he ran
So he didn't
twice.
do 8? He just 6?
So he did the rest of that term because that term was supposed to be 61 to 64, right? No. 2, 3, 4, 5. 61 to 65.
So they counted his vice president years as being president?
No, he became
So for 6 years?
He ran twice. Since
So
he
you
was
were
already vice
president
president
all
for
eight
2
years?
years. He only had 2 years of being a president, and he ran again. Got another 4 years.
There you go. There you go.
I've been trying to say that for so
Okay.
long.
So from 63
So he's only
to
president 6 years.
65, he became president. So that's how many years? 63 to 65. 2. So 2 years as the president. So he had 2 years as the vice president,
And then ran again.
2 years as the president, then ran again.
So that's some
And
bullcrap.
65 to 69, he was the president.
So if that would happen, I would. So if that would happen,
4
I
more
actually get
years.
less.
A total of 6 years. So he was.
So you can't get over 8. You can get less than 8. Though.
They found out who sniped John F. Kennedy?
Huh?
They found out who sniped John
Yeah,
F. Kennedy?
Alexa just talked about him a second ago.
They kill him, or did you put him in jail?
They killed him.
Oh, that's cold.
How did you do that anyway?
That's not really what we're talking about. But we did just figure that out.
What did you put gas
So,
on your face or whatever?
He was vice president for 2 years and president for 6. The
Like, what
remaining 2 years of JFK and an additional 4 years.
If you're supposed to get executed, what they do to you?
Huh?
You're supposed to get executed, what they do to you?
So in this, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. In this circumstance, he couldn't have ran again. Even though he didn't do 8 years, who was the presidential candidates for, what year is that, 65?
Can you forfeit being a president?
69?
Like in the middle of a presidency?
Alexa, who were the presidential candidates in 1969?
A U.S. presidential election did not take place that year.
Okay, thank you.
The first presidential election began in 1788, and presidential elections in the U.S. have occurred every 4
Alexa.
years since.
Who were the presidential candidates in 1970?
This might answer your question.
God damn,
Republican Beth Van Duyne and Democrat Candace Valenzuela were running to represent Texas' 24th Congressional
Alexa,
District.
stop. Alexa, who were the presidential candidates for 1970?
There aren't any U.S. elections with the highest race order popularity proxy in 1970.
Alexa, who were the U.S. presidential candidates for 1969? Are you
Here's
finished?
something I found on Wikipedia. The United States presidential election of 1968 was the 46th quadrennial presidential election, held on Tuesday, November 5, 1968. The Republican nominee, former Vice President Richard Nixon, won the election over the Democratic nominee, incumbent Vice President Hubert Humphrey.
I don't know if that's right. I don't know if that timeline is right. So we just gonna pass on by that. Yes.
Can you forfeit as being the president? Like you're being the president, you should give up.
I think you can. Alexa, can you forfeit presidency?
Here's something I found on the web. According to PrestoSports.com, a required forfeit must be submitted within 10 days of the notification that comes from a national committee.
So you can.
Do y'all know that this president, Donald Trump, was impeached?
What's that mean?
So you can vote to have a president removed.
What?
The House of Representatives impeached him because they're the ones who do that.
I vote
So
for
they-
Donald Trump.
They impeached Donald Trump.
So what happened to your
Alexa,
vote?
Alexa, how many presidents have been impeached? Bill Clinton is one, I believe.
Here's something I found from the article Impeachment of Andrew Johnson on Wikipedia.
Johnson.
Johnson remained the only U.S. president to have been impeached and face a Senate trial for over a
He
century,
went to trial.
until Bill Clinton became the second in
Bill Clinton was the
1998.
second one, but he wasn't impeached. He was the only one who was actually let go. So you have to impeach him
They
first,
all vote you out. Who
and
votes?
then everybody has to agree for you to be impeached. And the Senate did not agree with the House of Representatives
What?
to impeach him, but he still was impeached. See, you can be a president, nothing happens, you're the president. You could be a president and they say, we want to impeach you, which the House of Representatives said they want to do. Then the Senate has to come back and say, okay, we find reason. Well,
Yeah.
this Senate, they said they didn't find no reason, which we know there's long evidence, but they scared of him. It's almost like extortion, like a
Well, he voted
dictator.
you all.
Okay, so
If y'all piece
I wanted to say something about this too, cause does this sound familiar to y'all in
What?
any way?
What?
Ashley, are you finished? Have a seat, ma'am.
What, LBJ?
Put the
Yeah.
What? How does that sound familiar?
The letters sound familiar. All the
LeBron
letters sound
James.
familiar.
No, boy, please.
No.
They call him LBJ.
I'm gonna say this. LBJ.
Oh,
LBJ.
No, that doesn't mistake.
They call him LBJ.
Yes.
No, they don't. They
His
call him
middle name?
LeBron James.
Well, LB LeBron James. Okay, no. LBJ. Does that sound familiar?
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
They now all
You have to
LeBron
tell
James
me.
now.
LBJ is the name of the freeway. 635. Right here.
Oh, good job, Mom.
LBJ 635.
How was your
President George Bush Turnpike.
Mom?
We have that in Dallas too.
Mom.
Named after George Bush.
Mom.
They named freeways after people.
Mom. If you're sentenced to death, what happens to you?
Rashawn, I'm not doing it.
Mom,
I'm not doing it.
I
I'm not
heard,
doing it.
I heard about Hillary Clinton. But people keep saying that she was supposed to win the presidency. Was she?
She had. Okay, that's a complicated question. Which is the reason why? Do y'all remember what the motto is for my homeschool?
Learners and something, educated
Seekers.
learners and thinking knowledge seekers.
Say what?
Knowledge seekers and independent thinkers.
There you go. There you go.
Oh,
There you go. The name of it. What is it again?
Knowledge seekers and independent thinkers.
Knowledge seekers
Independent
and independent.
workers.
And post it on YouTube.
Thinkers.
After kids with permission. But it don't matter.
Please don't steal my stuff because I made that up. That's my motto for my
How's
homeschool.
somebody supposed to steal it? It's not going on YouTube.
That's right. Okay, so it is knowledge. Hey, hush! Knowledge seekers and independent thinkers. So, LeBron says, wasn't Hillary Clinton supposed to win? These are the facts that I can tell you. Hillary Clinton had the most popular vote. That means more people voted for Hillary Clinton than Donald Trump. Because when Hillary Clinton ran, she was running against Donald Trump,
Yeah.
which was 4 years ago.
Yeah.
So very pretty. Very pretty. Get those up. Get the inside of those like the other one. And then you'll be done. And you need to learn how to stay in the line.
My God.
Hush, boy. Hush. So, she had more votes than Donald Trump. Can somebody, some smart genius that I've already talked this to, can some smart genius tell me why Hillary Clinton was not the president if she had the most votes?
Because some
Donald
states have
Trump's
more
a-
higher impact than other states and crap.
Because of the representation. Remember, you have electoral votes.
That crap ain't fair in my opinion.
So, all of the people in Texas vote, but if the majority are Republican, then you're going to get the electoral votes that go to. We live in a representative democracy.
I don't think that's fair.
Very pretty, stinkabug. Very pretty. Okay.
Because if more people vote for somebody
You need to put a star by. You need to put a star by how many days? You need to put a star on Saturday, Sunday, and then today, Monday. And then you need to change your
What's today
arrow.
again?
No. So that day you need to put a star?
Where? Right here?
Of course. The next one.
It's the 16th.
And then you need to put another star by the next day because that was Saturday is gone. Sunday is gone. That was yesterday. And then Monday.
It's the
It's today.
17th on Monday.
What do you see? What number do you see there on Monday?
16th.
Okay, so it's the 16th. Close it up and move your.
I know.
Okay, thanks. Everybody's quiet so we can stay focused. So, I think that, okay, so back to the knowledge seekers and independent thinkers. Okay. So also, what is today? What is today?
Monday.
Okay. What does that say?
Sunday.
No, it says Saturday. Y'all are losers. And then when she laugh at y'all be crying and
I'm
shit.
not laughing at her.
That's Saturday. So you, and then after Saturday is
Monday.
no. Say your days of the week. No, it ain't.
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday,
Saturday. I mean,
So you have
Monday,
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
So after Saturday, what?
It's Sunday.
But we already had Sunday.
So it's Monday.
There you go. Very good.
They go over and over.
Haha. They go over and over. That's what I wanted you to know. They go over and over. They go over and over, big girl.
I said how.
Let's go.
You say that you're.
Now you need to write. Today is Monday. Tuesday
You
is
should let her spell it by herself.
Monday.
See if she can spell it by herself.
And then we need to put the date of today. The date is, help me out, what's the month?
The month is 16.
No.
November
Uh-huh.
16.
Very good. What's the year? This crazy year.
Monday.
No, the year. Everybody keeps saying all this stuff keep happening this crazy year. 2020. It's 2020. So it's November 16th, 2020. Okay, go ahead. You know what to do, right? Yeah, you do. Stop playing games. Put your name on there and then write that. And then write that. And then you're going to show the camera. And
Bro,
you know
it's
how to
gonna be the
write
last day of 2020.
Okay, so. That should be a party,
Y'all
right?
have to go and say,
Can I get one of them?
A marker? No, you need your pencil. In case you mess up so you can.
No. everybody can be like 3, 2, 1. It's gonna say 1261.
Okay, so.
1261.
What if it went backwards? But anyway, so I can tell you the facts that Hillary Clinton got more votes than Donald Trump. So the reason I say knowledge seekers and independent thinkers because you can come to whatever conclusion you want to if she got the more votes. Rashawn said he think sit down and do that right. That ain't that's not what goes there. You need to put your name up here. You need to write today is Monday. That's what need to go right there. Today is Monday, need to go right there. Today is Monday, need to go right there. Today is Monday, need to go right there. November 16th, need to go right there. November 16th, okay. So, Rashawn says, I don't think that's fair.
I don't think, like all I'm saying is I need to go to the states that will be the good states for that year and just freaking go there. Just get there before another president gets there, get the votes, automatic win.
Okay. Well, it doesn't always work that way. Because Georgia is normally Republican.
It's
But
not
this
always
year,
that. See, it's not always like that. But
this year it went Democratic. See, in 2016, it didn't work out for Hillary Clinton. A lot of people didn't like Hillary Clinton for various reasons. She was a former Secretary of State. Her husband already was a president. You know, we was talking about monarchies and stuff. Do y'all know that there's a lot of families in this country who have repeating roles in government?
George
You would
Bush.
think of that as like a
kind of
like a monarchy, but it's not. They've been elected. They
Stop.
not the same person. It doesn't always happen that way.
Messing
Monarchy.
with me.
Hey! Get your paper and come sit down. And get a book. Come on. You have the Bushes. You have Senior Bush was a president. His son was a president. His other son was a governor. I don't even know how many, and it's probably more Bushes. Matter of fact, Jeb Bush was a governor of Florida during the time. Never mind. I digress. I love politics, kind of. Okay, so Rashawn said he don't think that's fair. So if LeBron asked the question, isn't it true Hillary Clinton was supposed to be president? It depends on your perception. It depends on
Just like me,
you think.
Just like me or LeBron running, right? And then LeBron goes to freaking Florida first and crap, trying to get that state.
You can't
first.
go to Florida first. People people generally, you can campaign, but you can't make a person vote for you. See, you're supposed to vote based on the principles and what they believe in and what's most beneficial to your life. Republicans have a history of being more for the rich than poor. My opinion. Democrats have a history of helping out people. Kind of, sort of. And I'm just giving you, you know what I'm saying? I use that term loosely, is what I'm saying. Helping people, I use it loosely. But I would definitely want to vote more Democratic than Republican. But people's perception of that is different. You know what I'm saying? There are actually people who think that Donald Trump was a great president. Actually, almost half the country. See? That's their mind. So, also, in the 2016 election, to my knowledge, it was interfered by foreign, to my knowledge. They said that the election there was interference. So if I tell you that Hillary Clinton got the most popular votes, and you say, did you poop? Okay, don't fuck with whatever you fucking with. That means something ripped. Either your ass ripped or the chair or the tape. Something
That's
ripped.
a must. I don't trust.
Leave it alone.
Okay.
Okay, so now, we got knowledge seekers and independent thinkers. I believe Rashawn is being an independent thinker when he said, hey, that don't make sense. The person with the most votes should be the president. Okay? Now, knowledge seekers.
Make more sense. Yeah.
Second part. It's more to that though. You can't just walk around talking about, I think so and so and so and so, and you don't got no backing behind.
It make more sense.
Because I'm going to say, hey, the sky is actually pink, my nigga. It's pink.
Boy, do you have eyes?
It's pink. It's pink. This is my thought. I'm an independent
What if
thinker.
the people that are colorblind actually see the real colors? And
You just cannot be.
Shut the frick up.
You just cannot be an independent thinker. You have to also be a knowledge seeker. You want to have something to back that up.
How you see if somebody's blind?
So, now we go back to the other point that I made, that the election was interfered in. I don't have no evidence of that because I ain't look it up. But I think other people have looked it up and they know it to be true that the election had interference. Okay? So that part is we got my independent thinker, how I feel, and we got my knowledge seeker, which is putting the information with what you think to make a great decision. That's the only reason why that is my theme for this. It's what I teach you, plus what you know, plus the facts, plus how you feel. That makes you a great, well-rounded person. You can have a conversation with somebody. You can say, my nigga, the sky is pink. Let me tell you why the sky is pink. Right before, when you be asleep at 1 in the morning, it be pink. But you don't know it because you be asleep. But I actually go outside at 1 every day, and it's pink.
why you always lying?
Why you always?
Okay, so
Oh my god.
there we go with the independent. So now you have your thought that the person who has the most votes should win. Plus you did your research. You know that the election was interfered. And so now you get to come to your own conclusion. Rashawn, do you think Hillary Clinton should have been president?
I don't know. She was a girl though.
What does that have
I'm not trying to be mean or anything.
We ain't gonna
I'm
do that.
just
Oh,
trying
girls,
to
we
be
get
doing
so
that.
triggered when they do that.
We not
So
doing
when
none of
they
that.
ask girl do something, they be all
We
like,
not doing
I'm
none of
a
that.
girl. I'm
We not doing none of
do
that. Let me tell you why we're not doing none of that.
But Donald
'Cause the
Trump,
smartest
he's actually
person-
pretty bad, though.
The smartest person in this house,
Is
the smartest person in this family,
And it's you?
I am. And I am not a boy.
we don't know that.
You think
Yeah.
you're the smartest one in the family?
Independent thinkers and knowledge seekers. Yes, that's what
My
I
dad
go for.
is-
You don't get your.
My dad is the smartest man in
No,
the
he's
world.
not. No, he's not.
Ooh, I'm not finna talk about your daddy right now. Okay, so
What's wrong with my dad?
I ain't saying nothing about your daddy.
I'm talking about the real father
Oh,
of the world. I'm talking about God.
Ooh, you hurt.
Oh,
Ooh, you hurt. Ooh.
I'm not. Okay.
Punched in the face.
So, based on that, you can tell if you can say. So I'm gonna go around. You can only pick one decision. Look, Rashawn, do you think Hillary Clinton should have been president? One choice. Don't take all day. You already said your answer, as a matter of fact. So since it took you so long, we just gonna bypass you. Yes, he thinks it should have been Hillary Clinton. Who do you think should have been president?
I guess it should have been Hillary Clinton because.
Why are you digging into that? Go sit on that couch over there.
I didn't even do that, but.
Yeah, sure. All right. So
Because Donald Trump is American.
he said he guessed. Okay.
I said I
Now
guess because
here's-
Donald Trump is ugly.
Here is my answer. Here's my answer. I do not think Hillary Clinton should have been president.
Oh.
Why?
Because it didn't
Like
work
Donald
out
Trump?
that way. The
Like
heavenly,
Donald Trump
the
better?
heavenly
God.
Father, the heavenly Father did not allow it to happen. The heavenly Father.
That's a dumb answer.
I might as well
Anybody
answer all my
could say
questions
that.
because God said so. You asked me why do the elephants have horns? I said because God said so. That's what I'm saying now.
No, because the rules, and another reason, because the rules state you have to have the most electoral votes. She didn't have the most electoral votes.
Duh.
Donald Trump did. That's how the
Stupid.
rules
We
go.
didn't go nowhere
So
in the conversation.
He was supposed to be the president because he had the most electoral votes.
Off of Russia or whatever they said he was doing.
All right, that part. So we're gonna move on from that, and then we were where?
Last paragraph.
Okay.
I read the last one before the last one.
Okay, only 9 vice presidents have ever been able to serve as president. So there have been 9 vice presidents. Well, this is wrong now because I'm sure this was made before
Chicken.
Biden.
But they were saying, what should we call it?
Alexa, how many vice presidents have became president?
There are 15 succeeded to presidency U.S. vice presidents.
This made a long
They are
time
Joe
ago.
Biden, George H.W. Bush, Gerald Ford,
but they
Lyndon B.
said-
Johnson, Richard Nixon,
Shut your body
Harry
right.
S. Truman, Calvin
Who said
Coolidge,
Joe Biden?
Theodore
first?
Roosevelt, Chester A. Arthur, Andrew Johnson, Millard Fillmore, John Tyler, Martin Van Buren, Thomas Jefferson, and John Adams.
But they said president as he or she in here.
Okay.
I'm getting wait for the girl.
That's nice.
President.
So Hillary Clinton would have been had she, but she didn't make it.
But that was
So
way
now
before her,
listen.
though. That was way before her, though.
Huh?
That was the thing was made before then, probably now since
Yeah, and
it's
it
only
still says
9.
his or her because they give him the option you can still say his or her because the president does not have to be a man. It just so happens to have been. It doesn't have to be.
Was she the first person to run for president?
And men are. Let me shut up. I'm not gonna do that, huh?
Was she the first person to run for president as a girl?
No, Shirley Chisholm.
I don't know who Shirley Chisholm is.
This black lady right here. We talked about this.
Oh, she was black. And she ran for president, and she was a girl.
Yeah. Y'all didn't hear what she said? Have y'all ever heard what?
Bro, we're looking to be Barack Obama being president, bro.
Here,
She was
this is Shirley Chisholm. She's the first woman
and black.
to run.
Bro, look at her without the hair.
First
Man, bro.
black. Oh, do not talk about Shirley Chisholm. Her swag is on point in that picture.
Oh, no, it is.
Her fro is huge.
You take the hair away. It's a man, bro.
I want to see.
Look at her out there.
She's
I wanna
beautiful.
see. I want to see.
She's actually very beautiful.
It's a man, though.
I look like a man.
No, she's not. I'm so
You
silly.
take the hair off.
Alexa, who is Shirley Chisholm?
Y'all wrong.
According to Wikipedia, Shirley Anita Chisholm was an American politician, educator, and author. In 1968, she became the first black woman elected to the United States Congress, representing New York's 12th congressional district for 7 terms from 1969 to 1983.
She didn't say nothing about her running for president. Can you, Rashawn, navigate Shirley Chisholm while we read this last paragraph? I think you're supposed to be reading the last paragraph, but I'll read the last one. Go ahead, Rashawn, do that for me. So we can give her her proper respect since y'all done said she's like a man.
I didn't say that.
I'm ready to fight like a motherfucker now. I'm ready to fight.
Man, but you
Y'all
know,
talking about Shirley Chisholm like
Charlotte
this.
hit Chisholm without no hair.
No,
Yeah,
sir.
where?
Her
I spell-
fro
I spell her
is
name.
amazing.
I spell her
Her
name.
It looks like a
Shirley?
Her hair looks like a man.
Shirley?
Looks like a man.
Shirley? S-H?
Oh my God.
Rashawn look like a man too with a beard.
I'm not a girl who like a
Got
man.
that hair coming in.
I'm a man with
And that beard is all the way in.
It's hard, yeah.
I can't. Are you done with your work, Ashley?
I guess I'm a girl with facial hair too.
I'm gonna show the camera where you are.
No.
1 hour ago started.
Girl, I got facial hair too.
Ashley, now what?
Facial hair.
I
She
know.
got eyebrows.
Ooh.
Hey!
Cornball there.
Hey, it's smart though. Wait. We all facial hair.
Okay. Hey, hush, because I'm finna read this last paragraph. While he looks for Shirley, which is S-H-I-R-L-E-Y.
If all of us can have hair on it, her face is
LeBron, that don't have nothing to do with class. And I'm done with all the plan stuff. We need to proceed. Y'all had a lot of fun.
Let's go, Mom.
I like it. Boy.
Cypher. What's everybody? Cypher.
S-H-I-R-L-E-Y. Why come you can't remember that from a second ago? Why come when I was reading it out to you the first time you were not listening?
Huh?
Yeah. You think a nigga want to keep repeating shit? I'm going to go ahead and read this last.
What's your last name?
Chisholm.
Woo, every time I start talking to that nigga.
Chisholm. Shirley Chisholm.
C-H.
Is that her there?
No, that's Shirley Caesar, who is a gospel singer. I cannot stand y'all. Y'all get on my nerves. She is so pretty.
No, we're not.
What are you looking at?
What are you looking at?
This says her.
Bro, busy with a phone, bro.
Wait, is that your body right?
Yeah, I think it's your button.
Click right here.
Bro, take the front.
Hey, hush.
Americans all over are demanding a new sensibility, a new philosophy of government from Washington. Instead of sending
Go sit down and stop that.
on participants at Earth Day, I would welcome the efforts of concerned citizens of all ages to stop the abuse of our environment. Instead of watching a football game on television, while young people beg for the attention of their president concerning our actions abroad, I would encourage them to speak out, organize for peaceful change, and vote in November. Instead of blocking efforts to control the huge amounts of money given political candidates by the rich and the powerful, I would provide certain limits on such amounts and encourage all the people of this nation to contribute small sums to the candidates of their choice. Instead of calculating the political costs of this or that policy and of weighing favors of this or that group, depending on whether that group voted for me in 1968, I would remind all Americans at this hour of the words of Abraham Lincoln, "A house divided cannot stand."
And it's not on there. Great.
Where's that purple hair?
Is skincare from around the world better than Olay? Olay Regenerist faced 131 premium products from 12 countries over 10 years. Olay's hydration was unbeaten every time.
That particular part where she says she knows she's not gonna win, but
What if we don't see it?
there, push that on there.
It's gonna be.
We're gonna fast forward to she said it's like that. That's his story. How about Shirley? She's my child. I don't know about her. She pretty as hell.
I stand before you today as a candidate for the Democratic nomination for the presidency of the United States of America. I am not the candidate of Black America, although I am black and proud. I am not the candidate of the women's movement of this country, although I am a woman, and I'm equally proud of that. I am not the candidate of any political bosses or fat cats or special interests. I stand here now without endorsement from many big-name politicians or celebrities or any other kind of prop. I do not intend to offer to you the tired and glib cliches which for too long have been accepted part of our political life. I am the candidate of the people of America. Fellow Americans, we have looked in vain to the Nixon administration for the courage, the spirit, the character, and the words to lift us.
Don't be on that phone.
To bring out the best.
Stop.
The abiding concern of this administration has been one of political expediency rather than the needs of man's nature.
Stop.
Leadership which is open and leadership which is
Stop.
citizens of all ages to stop the abuse of our environment. Instead of watching a football game on television,
I really don't care about copyright, to be honest. It's not like I'm making a movie. Copyright thing.
Those of you who were locked outside of the convention hall in 1968.
We can stop this because I was trying to get to the part.
Those of you who can now vote for the first.
Oh, okay. Ooh, she was right there.
Sister.
You got a long way to go.
Wait, you're a little
I don't know where we were.
Your
On down.
Our Amy is
On
your
down.
big sister.
Stop. I ain't got but a few more minutes before I get irritated.
We Americans are all fellow countrymen, one day confronting the judgment of history in our country. We are all God's children, and the will of each of us is as precious as the will of the most powerful general or corporate millionaire. Those of you who were locked outside of the convention hall in 1968, those of you who can now vote,
there is a part of her.
Give me your help at this hour. Okay. Join me in an effort to reshape our society and regain control of our destiny as we go down the Chisholm Trail for 1970.
Stop.
Into politics, elected office. Yes, I definitely am feeling and recognizing that as a result of over 20 years in political life, only emerging 8 years ago publicly, that there is a great need for more women in the political arena. I happen to believe that there are certain aspects of legislation that
we'll find it later
will be given much more.
But there is a part in her speech where she says, I do not expect to win, I don't intend to win, but I'm doing it because I feel what she wanted to do. Even though she knew she wasn't going to win, it's not about that. It's another purpose behind it. That's very inspiring. If you always had white presidents and then you're black and you see a black woman run, it make you think, oh, okay, yeah, I can. That's the same thing with Kamala Harris for this newer generation, because people don't know about Shirley Chisholm. That was 1972. But now, she was the first woman to run for presidency, first black woman to run for president. It's making a statement. That's like, I'm finna go out here and run. I know I'm probably not gonna win, but I'm making a statement. That's what I'm trying to say. So then now, you can easily say that that paved the way for the next person who decided to run for presidency. So she's the first person to run for presidency. Now, running for presidency and being on the ticket.
Was she the first black person to run for president?
Listen, running for president and being the person on the ticket is two totally different things. There were like 4 Democratic nominees before Joe Biden took the presidency. There was this lady named, I can't think of her name right now.
She was white, though.
She was. What is that lady name? Anyway,
President
it was her.
Obama.
It was Bloomberg. It was Biden, and it was somebody. What's his name?
President Biden.
Bernie Sanders.
Who the frick is Bernie Sanders?
Bernie
I've
Sanders.
heard that name before.
Yeah, all of them were competing to be the person on the ticket. So even before we picked the person on the ticket, which was Biden, you still have other people who run. So she was running. She wasn't on no ticket. It wasn't no, we got to vote for Shirley Chisholm or so-and-so. It wasn't like that. It was more of a statement because it wasn't going to run. It wasn't going to fly. Alexa, who was the first black president? Shit, I said that wrong. Alexa, who? Because there ain't no first black president. Yes, it was.
Obama.
Alexa.
You're actually correct.
Alexa, who was the first black person to run for presidency? Let's see if she races out.
Here's something I found on reference.com. The first black president of the United States was Barack Hussein Obama II. He was sworn in as the 44th president of the United States on January 20th, 2009.
Alexa, who was the first black person to run for presidency?
Here's something I found on reference.com. The first black president of the United States was Barack Hussein Obama II. He was sworn in as the
Alexa, just
44th.
stop.
That made me sad.
You can Google it on here. Google it.
That actually made me sad.
What?
Come on, Ashley.
That she didn't say it?
If
Yeah.
you're racist and you know it, clap your hands.
What the what? Hello.
Okay, go ahead.
He said racist.
She just has a limited brain. She can only give out the information that she can search for. So she's reliable sometimes and sometimes she's not. But go ahead and search that, and I'm going to read this last paragraph. Are you done? Okay, you need to get done, boo. Okay, so this last paragraph, and we get way off topic really easily.
Control it there, so you might as well just start
The
reading.
light is on. You got it.
Okay, so you, as a child in the United States, are a citizen of our country. How do you become a citizen of the country?
Was it something about being
There's
married?
a lot of people that go to the country that ain't citizens.
What's about getting married here or something?
No, good guess though.
Or like taking a test or something?
Live there is kind of good, but
Like taking a test or something?
let's dig deeper. Live
Being
there.
born here?
Born here.
I'll
Ding
learn-
ding ding
I'll
ding
learn that-
ding.
I'll
I
learn
wish I
that
had a
Candy.
no,
Peppermint.
not a candy. You gonna get all of us a peppermint though, but no. I was talking about hurry up because I gotta read this last paragraph. And you didn't find what I asked you to find.
We're on PlayStation.
Okay, great. So you have to be born here in order to be a president. You have to be born. In order to be a citizen. But in order to be a president, you have to be born here too. So you have to be a citizen to be president. So to be a citizen, that means you were born here. Is that right though? Because it's people who... Alexa, what is a citizen? All off my game
The
today.
noun, citizen, can have a few meanings. 1. A native or naturalized member of a state or nation who owes allegiance to its government and is entitled to its protection,
I don't owe
distinguished
allegiance
from
to shit.
alien. 2. An inhabitant of a city or town, especially one entitled to its privileges or franchises. 3. An inhabitant or denizen,
Okay,
4.
Alexa, just stop.
a
What?
civilian, as
Alexa,
distinguished.
stop! What? What?
It was funny.
I don't see no papers here.
I want some Grammys.
Okay, so I made a mistake. In order to be the president, you have to be born in the United States. But
So somebody from Russia can't come
but-
like this.
but to be a citizen, you don't have to be born here. You
You
can.
have to get married or whatever or something like that.
No, Rashawn, stop
Like, it's just what you
interrupting.
do.
Just stop interrupting, please. Talking over me, it made me forget what I'm trying to say. Next, I'm gonna read this last paragraph. You as a child in the United States are a citizen of our country. Even though it may seem as though your only responsibilities are to do the chores your parents ask of you and complete assignments from your teacher or parent in this case, you have a responsibility to the United States as well. You have a responsibility to be a good citizen and help take care of your school and community. You have a responsibility to take care of your friends and classmates by reporting bullying if you see it take place or are being bullied. All of these roles come with being a good citizen of the United States. What are some ways you can be a good citizen and help contribute to your community? Okay. There are some questions. The first question is,
For 10 minutes.
first of all, if you feel like you have the correct answer, raise your hand and wait till you're called on.
Hey, girl, put your hand down.
First question is, why is the Constitution important to the United States of America? Go ahead, Rashawn.
Oh, I gotta do that.
I saw you do this, so you're it. Why is the Constitution important to the United States of America?
So we know the laws and the rights of the people.
No, the laws and the rights of the people. Laws and the rights of the people. Go ahead.
Does God make the Constitution?
No.
God did not make the
Next.
Constitution.
He did not.
And he made it.
The Constitution, the freedom to choose our government that the people of the United States are allowed is provided by the Constitution. It tells certain freedoms.
Yep.
It has your checks and your balances and ensures that they are done by. So, Rashawn,
The rights of
Yeah.
the people, boy.
okay.
And the laws. But I was right.
What are checks and balances? Here are your options. A,
Options I love.
how your parents see how much money they have. Checks and balances.
A balance? Yes. That's a balance. Yeah, check your balance. Yeah, just say.
B, a book.
What's the question?
Oh, I want to slap the shit out of him. What are checks and balances?
Okay.
A, how your parents see how much money they have. B, that's what your brother said. B, a book. C, laws to run government.
Lost to one Gravity.
D, a system designed to make sure that no one part of the government has too much
I
power.
ain't just trying to make it sound
D.
like that.
It's
No
D.
shit,
It's D.
Sherlock.
It's D.
Dang, they smart, bro.
You're dumb.
No, he's not
Checks
dumb.
and balances. They're stupid, bro.
Yeah, why you say
That's
that?
what is a joke.
That's what it's
LeBron. But if you had to do this, you would pick that.
LeBron, here's the
We talking about, hold on, we're talking about checks and balances. We ain't said nothing about no checkbook. Nothing.
LeBron,
No,
LeBron.
but we ain't said nothing about no balancing no money. That's not what we talking about. We
LeBron.
talking about government.
LeBron, just think about testing.
We are in government class right now, and you is talking about economic class.
LeBron, this is
Okay,
LeBron.
so
LeBron.
I
LeBron.
say D then.
LeBron.
No shit.
I don't know. I
LeBron.
don't care, Sean.
LeBron, this
No, I don't want to listen.
Go ahead, Rashawn.
in every test, it always be when it's
what
four
you
questions,
think?
right? It's always like this. Two answers be the wrong answers automatically just be two you automatically cross out, and two sound on topic, and then one's the answer.
And that will be helpful if he had a piece of paper. That is very helpful information.
That's every question.
Okay.
Always two can automatically cross out, and the last two be on topic, but one's wrong.
3. Explain what role the legislative branch plays in our government.
The legislative branch?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so they make the laws.
They make the laws. They make the laws. Thank you. Laws, legislative. Legislative, laws. Make. Okay. Number 4. What 2 parts make up the legislative branch of our government?
Congress?
No. Congress is the same thing as legislative.
Oh,
No, sir. What are the 2 parts that make up the legislative branch of government? Is it A, the president and the vice president? B, the House of Representatives and the Senate? C, 2 representatives from each state? And D, the Supreme Court justices? What 2 parts make up the legislative branch of government? Is it A, the president and vice president?
No.
B, the House of Representatives and the Senate? C, 2 representatives from each state? And D, the Supreme Court and justices. LeBron, you are right. LeBron is right.
See, same thing.
Number 5.
Well, same thing. See, and I said 2.
Number 5. What is it?
And 2
Are you
on
finished?
topic.
Almost, but my lips are dry.
Go this way. You think somebody finna hurt your scary silly?
Scary, bro. Oh, my time shine, bro. Look, I think I figured out it. Hold on. I need this with some bobbin.
I'm gonna switch the phone.
Okay, so I don't know how to do this worm emote that people are doing with worms or some crap. So I'm going to try it.
I thought you never
I
asked.
can't do this.
Who was getting the peppermints?
LeBron, I caught your ass. You ain't got away with shit.
What did I do?
With your slow ass. Too fucking slow. I'm making stew.
Bro, y'all put a cap on my
And it's almost ready. And I got cornbread, so I'm extremely happy today. Here. And it was cold this morning.
But we got no freaking crackers though.
Nah, here. Let me see your hand. Okay.
Why every time I see one of those people be using the same one?
Who? The same lip tint? Nah, bro. Not me. Okay. Explain what role the judicial branch plays in our government. Judicial.
They
Oh, they confirm
They
the laws.
approve
They
laws.
make sure they're perfect. And
they
like,
approve the laws.
they're fair.
Like they try to make sure they're fair and stuff. Yeah, we said
Evaluate.
evaluate. Look at me right now. When did I ask you?
What gave the Supreme Court its power?
Constitution.
That is the answer. I didn't even get to. Okay. Explain who role the executive branch. They are so wrong. Explain what role the executive branch plays in our government. The executive branch.
They confirm the laws. They make them into laws and stuff.
They carry out the laws.
Yeah, well that's it.
Go
Put
for
that
it.
as a
Finish your work.
We
Okay.
never switched the floor. I thought you never asked.
Who supports the President of the United States and gives he or she advice?
Vice President.
Very good. Even though you are not old enough to vote yet, how old do you have to be to vote?
18.
Great. You are still an important citizen in the United States. Explain.
Because we take care of our friends in school and crap. That's just the crap.
Oh my God. Put them muggles in.
Oh, they know damn they put that thing in for us to eat that crap up. Like, oh my God.
You want to add something, LeBron? If you were president, what is the one thing you would change for our country?
Make Rocky look.
Hey,
The pothole.
now this. Hold on,
The
Ashley.
pothole is my
Hold
trail.
Sit down, LeBron. I mean, Rashawn. Sit down. Everybody needs to come up to the camera as if you were running for president and tell me how. Talk to the citizens in this country and tell me how you would change it. Starting with Ashlyn.
What would I do if I'm president?
And start, if I were president, I would.
If I was president, I would change all the potholes.
Very good. Have a seat.
I'm not ready now.
Ashlyn, what is a pothole?
A pothole is like this little
Oh,
hole
I got it, bro.
In the road.
But if we leave the potholes, what'll happen?
Your tire will bust out
Oh.
with all the air.
Okay. You don't like that, do you?
I watched it on Bearsting Bears, so that's how I got the idea.
Okay, great. Okay, next presidential candidate, LeBron Hart.
Boo! Turn it off. Turn
Nobody
it
can
off.
see what you're doing, but okay.
Turn it off.
If I was the president, I would make money free. Everybody will have free money. And
The
you'll be
economy
able to
is
print it.
busted. Like,
Nobody making money no more. Don't matter. Money don't even matter no more.
yeah, if everybody had, okay. Anything
Everybody
else?
can do what they want.
Wait, can I do
Now,
what I want,
okay,
please?
that's your choice. But if everybody's doing what they want in this country, how you think it'll be?
Oh yeah, everybody be shooting people.
Okay, come on, President.
I'm already.
Well,
fired.
no, come on, you're not fired. Come on up here. This question is on the spot and random.
We're
If
pitching
you were president, what would you do? What would you change and why?
I would change YouTube because it's unfair.
Mommy,
I like
can
that
I do
answer.
what I
Now,
want?
come here, come back, and show me how you walked up here to be president. No, over here. I can't see it over here. Come show me right here.
I need some bopping it.
Why you got your head down though?
Because you realized this idea was kind of. What's the
Thank you, presidential candidate LeBron. Rashawn, the next presidential candidate is Rashawn. Come to the stage. Tell us what you would change and why.
Whoa!
Go ahead. Tell me what you would change and why. Why are you in right here? Confidence. Let's go. Go ahead.
I would change things that's already broken and needs to be fixed. Like the racism in this country is stuff that's not in order. Like things that's not in order right now. Like things that are going on.
Thank you,
Those
President.
things right there.
Can I do one more thing here?
No. Okay. Thank you, presidential candidate. Rashawn, I need you to find on here the requirements to be president. Cause I know. Do anybody know what you have to do to be president?
You have to have freaking to be born here.
Okay.
You gotta
Yes. Correct.
you gotta
Have not went to jail or anything before.
I'm not sure about that one, but you're probably right. Okay. We don't know. So can I get that up here, please?
no medical disabilities.
Come on.
Never mind,
Yeah.
don't trouble in there, never mind.
Woo, Jesus. Yes, they need to make that a requirement for them to get a psychological
Mommy, did I do
evaluation.
good?
Huh?
Did I do good?
I said you did good. Come on, Rashawn. I need the requirements to be president so we can
Need a test that says
exit government
What would
and
you
go
do?
to another
In this
subject.
situation, kind of test.
I want to do a challenge for the say yes for Jose.
Who?
I want to do this challenge I seen on video.
Wait till after class. We'll talk about it.
Dana charge that.
That's right. You. R-E-Q-U-I-R.
There he
I must admit that I really do hate the PlayStation, but it is very useful in an educational environment. It is another way of finding information other than the computer. And I'm actually using the computer to record. I guess I'll do a video with that. Things that help me. I should do a video about that. Items that help me teach. The top things that assist me, which would be, can y'all help me? PlayStation, computer.
Why are you so against Fortnite?
Oh, teachers pay teachers.
Why are you so against Fortnite?
Who?
Why are you so against Fortnite?
Because they're bloodsuckers.
You might think that being elected to the highest office in the land comes with a requirements. Wrong. Officially, there are only three. Three requirements to become president of our country, and they're less demanding than you'd imagine. First prerequisite, you have to have resided in the United You might think that being elected to the highest office in the land comes with a lengthy list of requirements. You'd be wrong. Officially, there are only three. Three requirements to become president of our country, and they're less demanding than you'd imagine.
I must admit that when I wanted to start doing homeschooling, like, although we're doing day in the life, we're doing all what we're doing, I wanted y'all to make videos about the subjects that we're talking about, so that if other kids wanted to Google the information, you guys would come up, kids saying, what are the requirements? What are the three branches of government? You feel me? So, you guys were supposed to do a video last week on the three branches of government. After this, I want you will be able to use your phone. You will have 20 minutes. But I need in your own writing the three branches of government and what they do. You can also use the computer, or you can also use the PlayStation, which you probably want to use the PlayStation, because y'all know how we be finding them videos about time and all this shit for Ashlyn. Like, you can get in the groove of how you want your own personal video to flow. You won't be doing it together. He'll do his own video and he'll do his own video. But the point is, sure. You see how this guy is up here talking, getting your attention, is more modern than the old, these are the branches of government. I want you to be creative. He's actually being creative. Maybe slightly annoying, but he's being creative.
That's why you don't pause.
So if somebody Googles the three branches of government, I want your face to show up, and I want you to have a video. Okay, go ahead.
First prerequisite, you have to have resided in the United States for at least 14 years. Herbert Hoover is the only president to have tested the rule. He moved back to America only 11 years before his election. Second, you have to be at least 35 to run for president. The founding fathers assumed the older you were, the more mature you'd be, right? And with the life expectancy sitting around 40 in the 1700s, 35 was actually considered old. Still, nobody in their 30s has ever become president. William Jennings Bryan was the youngest candidate at 36, but lost the election to William McKinley. A few years later, after McKinley's assassination, Theodore Roosevelt became the youngest president when he succeeded at the age of 42. John F. Kennedy was the youngest elected person, winning the vote a year older at 43. Now, the third qualification, you must be a natural-born citizen. Now, obviously, this wasn't the case for the early presidents. It would take us until our 8th president before we found our first U.S. and not British-born subject in President Martin Van Buren. However, that doesn't stop people born outside the United States from running for president. Ted Cruz, he was born in Canada to an American mom. John McCain, the 2008 Republican nominee, he was actually born in Panama because his father was in a Navy station there. In all these cases, because they were born to American citizens, they were considered natural born. Do you meet the job description? If so, take a shot. Seems like everybody else is. What you got to lose?
That part is a fake. All right. So,
Yeah,
you got a phone in your
if
hand?
Donald Trump can be a president, I can be a president.
Yes. Huh? Okay. So, what are the 3 requirements to be president?
Age.
Go me to another one. Requirements. Go me to another one. Go me to another one. That's not right.
Take me to the other one.
Are you finished with your work? You should be by now. Make that stop squeaking right now.
Look.
Lots of people dream of becoming President of the United States. But to officially run for office, a person needs to meet 3 basic requirements established by the U.S. Constitution. A presidential candidate must be a natural-born citizen, at least 35 years old, and a U.S. resident for at least 14 years. For more information, go to kids.us.
Okay.
You have to be a resident for 14 years. You have to be
Press pause.
You have to be a citizen. You have to be 36.
Okay, so do you want to do both of y'all? Okay, here's your thing. You could do 2 videos. They have to be done by Friday, or you could just do one and choose which one you want to do. Okay, so you could do what does it take to be a president, or you could do the 3 branches of government,
It's not gonna be done by Friday.
or 2. Yes, whichever one you choose. I need you to go ahead and write down what it is you're going to say so I can make sure.
We'll go ahead and go with the modern. However, that did go. Well, I put out something tomorrow.
Okay, so
I'm gonna probably do both.
okay, I like that. I like that,
Daddy used to say that for a while.
but you still have to write
Let me know
down what
what
you're going to
you
say.
tell Brian.
He said he ain't gonna wait till Friday to do his video.
Yeah, but what he said.
Well, I put off what you could do today for tomorrow.
No, he said that he said I'm gonna do both of them.
Mommy,
He didn't say I'm gonna do it
wanna
today. He said I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do both of them. Like I thought he was gonna say I'm gonna do it today.
I don't know.
But both of them
Mommy.
did.
Yes, Ashley.
I know exactly one
Yeah, I'm
video
over
that
there.
I'm gonna do.
What you gonna do, baby?
I'm gonna do the governor, the president, I think.
The president,
Yeah.
and I'll help you. Okay.
I wanna do it today. After
Okay, you need to hurry up with that.
Okay,
I'm done.
I'm done doing the
And we probably gonna get copyrighted again but ain't nobody watching it. Remember when I started reading this book?
How you gonna tell about reading a book?
The information that I'm about to read is not my own, and some of the information used in this video is not my own. I do not own the rights. They do not belong to me. People be putting that on there and then they be like, cool, they be good. I said it wasn't mine. Shit.
Mommy,
All right.
I'm done.
You are done?
You want me to see?
Let me see. I love it. I cannot tell a story. Bye-bye. You want to give me here?
The fuck?
Okay. All right. Next thing. Hit me that right there.
I thought I
No.
should be doing that because
No,
you
no,
would be
no.
doing it.
The packet of work. Okay. Give me
Is that baby work?
that. Are you a
You
baby?
said that every work you did today, it took you over hours.
Oh, you
every
think this baby work? Figure this out. You count backwards from 20.
Oh my god, that
That's
is.
easy.
Do it right now.
20, 90, 80, 17.
No, man.
You're wrong.
20,
Yeah!
19.
Okay, on your head. do
Okay,
it.
go.
20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 7. I mean, that's 7.
No, you already messed up. You already
You
messed
can,
up.
come on. 15.
14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
There you go. You showed them in an angry way, too.
Girl, it took you 12.
What you so mad for?
Took her 3 attempts.
What you so mad for?
You're mad at your own self.
What you mad for?
Wow, I would have got slapped in the face and would have got roasted and crap. I would have been like, Rashawn,
You
tried to do
mad,
something
potato
negative.
head?
She talking to you.
Potato head.
Sit your behind down and do that work.
Y'all bring me a peppermint?
She supposed to have gave you one.
I did. It's right here.
Just get it.
When you was over there dancing in front of there, I put it right there.
We are moving on
To the book.
to the book.
Let's go.
I'm going to read the prologue, and then we're going to read chapter 1. Then I'm going to let y'all go outside and play.
No, we don't have to go outside to play there. We don't have to.
I think it's actually cold. Go see if it's cold. You do need to go outside and get exercise and not be in the same room all day. That's what's wrong with me. That's why I think I be going crazy, because I don't ever go anywhere.
I want some stew.
I want some stew too.
I
Go
want
turn it
Tiana
off.
gumbo.
Go turn it off. You want Tiana's gumbo?
Y'all weirdos.
With the hot sauce.
And some frog legs in it too, y'all.
Go turn it off.
No, it's not.
I know, I was joking because, like, for instance, the frog.
Read this first chapter. You must
Frog
video.
legs.
Go for the day.
No.
Says who?
What even wants a
Okay.
vignette?
Let me time that. Today's about, right now is, like, I have no idea actually.
You go to the thing. Look, have a seat.
Mommy, well, I like this right to 19 and like.
Oh, it's 225. But
No, actually, they have you to cut them out and put them up there, but you can write it first, and then you'll just put the number that on top of the number. Write it first. Write it. Go sit down. Nope, you going backwards. You already got 20.
Oh.
Go sit down. Put your name on the top. Take your time. Go sit down.
Okay.
This is the book that we're reading, everyone. The kids decided on Betty Before X.
I
So that's what
decided
we're
on
reading.
that.
Everybody did.
Nobody did. What?
Okay. And so, just like the other book that we read, what was the name of the last book we read? Everybody in one.
Lester and the Rope.
The last book.
Three Stooges.
Three Stooges, right. Okay. So,
I forgot about that book, but it was good.
That book was not good.
it was good. You're just so
No, it
mad.
was good to the end. They rushed the ending.
That
It
ending
did.
was rushed.
It did
Now,
feel
nobody
rushed.
lied.
It did feel rushed. It felt like the whole story was an argument. And then,
And then
It just
the
got
ending
resolved
was
in 2
rushed.
seconds.
because after I wouldn't have been his friend no more. That would have been the end of our friendship. Maybe that's why I don't have no friends now. I could not have. That nigga was
I'm not saying they couldn't
he
be
was
friends
too
before.
desperate to be that nigga friend. Like, the one thing I
And
be
if
trying to
y'all
teach y'all.
wondering what we talking about, go read Three Stooges.
Well, bruh, shit, yo.
For real. I'm in there though. You got the whole YouTubers talking about crap. I have no idea.
Yep. So,
Like, that fool was real
I
rushed
feel
at the
like,
end.
I think what I try to teach y'all is, if you around somebody and they don't treat you right and
Just
it's
like
just
Valley.
it's bad vibes, I always try to teach y'all
Oh yeah, you sound
Right.
like Ricky, bro. You sound like Ricky.
to move on to another. Don't even
Mommy.
waste your time.
Mom,
Cause the next time that nigga go through some, or you know what I'm saying, I don't like that.
You talking about Ricky from Island Boys?
Um,
Every time he tried to get a girl, he said the vibes were just wrong.
Yeah, vibe just wrong. The vibe just wrong. The vibe.
Mommy,
Yes.
I know exactly who do not treat people well. I
Who?
mean, our sisters are
Who?
brothers. I know
Who?
exactly.
Who?
Y'all don't know.
Sit down, Ashley.
It's
Do your
obvious.
work.
Is it ours?
Sit down and do your work, Ashley. We ain't gonna talk about our cousins and stuff. We don't do this type of stuff. Okay, so when we read Three Stooges, we looked at the title, we looked at the cover, we looked at the pictures to try to determine. And you may not be able to figure it out right away, but as soon as the chapter came, when the banana peel was on the floor, everybody was like, aha. Come here. Aha. Y'all don't even know what that's from. It's from Coming to America. But anyway, give that to Rashawn. Tell him to take a look at. No, give me the books. Give me the book.
Why you got scissors in your hand?
Ashley, sit down and do your work before I turn into the angry monster mama. Sit down.
You mean She-Hulk?
Okay, look. This is the cover of the book. So I'm going to allow them the opportunity to take a look at the cover and tell me what they think. This is before we even go into anything. Let's go.
Okay.
What do you see? What do you think?
So I see this girl, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's black.
She's black.
It's not your turn yet.
And she has hair, and she's outside.
Okay.
And there's clouds and wind and leaves, and but she's gonna go to school or something, or church probably, since she's freaking.
Why do you think she's finna go to school or church?
Because the clothes she has on, and she.
The clothes she got on. What kind of clothes she got on?
The white.
A freaking skirt and a freaking shirt.
Anything else you want to add to it?
It's pretty basic, so no.
Okay. Pass it along. Okay.
Yeah, mirror look pretty nasty.
Yes. But I ain't finna use all my motherfucking wipes. Matter of fact, I need to go get that, what is that shit called? That vinegar. I should be using that instead of my face wipes. Baby.
Yeah, I probably need some of them.
You want one? I'm finna go get this vinegar.
I can't use the face
Okay,
wipe.
so she's looking in the sky. By looking outside or some crap like you want.
Excuse me, say it again. Loud.
I said she's looking in the sky, so she might be like you, over looking at the moon in early in the morning crap.
You such a... Okay, great.
Yeah, let's just roast our mom real quick because.
That's what y'all like to do. Go ahead. And what else?
It's probably like nature or some crap.
Okay.
Yeah, like you, Laverne.
That's it, honestly.
Is it it?
Yeah,
It is a real
What do
basic.
you want me to say? It's a girl.
Okay.
What do you want me to say? It's a girl. Y'all are so rude.
Bro!
Okay, go give me that apple cider vinegar and a paper towel, and I'm finna tell you what I see.
What?
Why should be the whole plot? Why should be the whole plot?
Why are you, why? You so negative.
Why she make a whole theory, the whole plot, bro, and the whole book and crap, and then she gonna be writing and crap. We're gonna be looking at her like this. She'll be like this. Hey, I told y'all.
Well, actually, Rashawn, why you always trying to be pessimistic?
I don't even know what that means.
You do know what that means. We talked about it several times. Put the top back on there so it don't dry out. The only reason why I do
These
that.
face pads smell weird.
I already put it on there.
Okay. The only reason why I go to the extreme like that is because I be wanting to make y'all think more, or make y'all be aware of something that you weren't previously aware of. It's not. It's just. It's fun to me. I'm sorry. I don't know what else way to say it. This homeschool shit is fun for me.
Girl!
I don't know what other way to say it. Like, I know y'all probably hate it, but it's like fun for me.
What's your
I don't hate
Wow,
it.
you're nerdy.
I am. Nerdy as fuck.
That's what you like to do.
Huh?
What's your emergency?
My mom is crazy. I told you to write the numbers first.
Yeah.
Well, I'm flip channel.
Okay, so this is what I see. I see it does, but it works, and so I don't have to use my face wipes. We could just use that stanky stuff.
One key too.
Okay, so
It looks like dough.
this is what I see.
It is.
I see a little black girl.
Good job.
I see her hair is back, braided into a ponytail.
Just like mine.
I'm thinking it could possibly be two ponytails, I'm thinking, but we can't see the other side.
I got these guys.
You do. And this little girl is just as cute as my little girl.
See, she's trying to make theories and stuff that don't even
Look.
Game
Look.
make her theories.
Okay. I see She has on some cute little earrings. So as Rashawn said, she is dressed up.
I need earrings.
What she has on looks like a uniform. So that was a good theory. I appreciate that. Have a seat, sir, and leave that alone.
I need some earrings.
We'll get you some, baby girl. I see two possible characteristics of this little girl. The first one, I see, she has her head up and she's looking toward the sky. If somebody has their head up and they're looking toward the sky, what would that make you assume?
That they're happy.
Not necessarily happy. I'm thinking more like she's thinking. I'm thinking more like she's thinking about something.
They're thinking about
That's what it
God,
seems to me.
Looking up there and God.
She's either hoping or thinking for something.
God's everywhere. She's on something.
Then she has her hands behind her back.
Oh, don't she
Her
back?
praying. Her praying.
No, maybe not praying, but
Okay.
when you have your hands behind your back,
You're trying to tell the referees you're not touching anybody because I keep calling fouls on you.
well, but the funny thing about that is almost like you're in a submission mode. Like I'm not doing, like she seems like, when I saw her hands behind her back, she doesn't seem like a threat. She seems like a
girl that you was freaking innocent and crowd.
innocent. Thank you, that's the word.
Walking through the field with her
That's
flowers
the
in her
word.
hand,
It gives me more of an innocent role.
You don't get your
Because if you have your hands up and out and about,
you're wired.
that's like defensive.
No, not
Or
really.
at a natural state. Now your hands down to your side is natural.
No.
Behind your back, it just seemed a little innocent to me.
Man, how your hands on your side look kind of
Matter of fact,
look kind of stiff.
matter of fact, when you was in school and y'all used to walk in the hallways, you couldn't walk like this. They told you put your hands behind your back.
No, you did not. That's
Well,
not
they
school.
did when I was in
Like,
school.
you're weird.
I do that.
I know you've seen that, Rashawn. That's fine. Give me here. It doesn't have to be on. Give me here.
Mommy,
So,
I
give
did
me.
that when I was in school.
You did that when you was in school? Give me here. Right. So why do you think you're in school and this is a regular way you walk? Why do you think they tell you to put your hands behind your back?
So you can't do nothing wrong. So you don't touch
So
the
you
wall.
can't do nothing
So you
wrong.
don't touch the freaking wall.
First of all,
Right.
I get
Your
into
dirty
a fight.
hands.
Okay, and that's the impression that I get from her. That she's possibly innocent, can't do no wrong.
How?
That's the
Everybody can do wrong.
Of course, but that is the perception that I get when I see her with her hands behind her back. Rashawn, can you please sit up? Although this is homeschool, this is not lounge school. It's not. You need to sit up and put your feet down.
You gotta make that noise.
Okay. So, that's what I also see. I also see leaves blowing in the wind.
She's an extra girl. That's what I said.
No, I get something else from that. I get something else from
She's
that.
an airbender.
No.
She goes with the flow.
No. Ashlyn, do you know what season where the leaves are blowing?
I know what it is.
Go ahead.
It's fall.
But what I tell you? What I tell you about making no plug? What I told you?
Yeah.
What I told you?
The wind is blowing. The leaves are going.
It's
I'm
fall.
thinking it's like fall.
Whoa,
It
whoa,
could.
whoa.
It may not be fall.
What's your the book say? What's say October or November? What's your say that girl?
It may be.
Yeah, you probably is gonna be that girl. You
What's
gonna be
that
like this. I
hurling
tell you.
spin?
I may not be right, but you know how it goes. Normally I am. Okay, so
She admitted to.
you don't have to. What you do? You wait some.
That's why I saw
Dang.
Okay, so that's what else I see from
Like
this.
pickles.
And honestly, there aren't that many things, but I'm gonna try to get as much out of the cover
I can tell. I can
as I
tell.
possibly can. So we got.
But what about the yellow ribbon? What you about the yellow ribbon, Mom?
That's what I'm going there now. So
What's going on, Mom? She going to the
There
house,
is-
What's going on?
it says Betty before the X. To me, it looks like the writing is wrote like with ribbon. That looks like ribbon to me.
I just said
And-
that.
And the ribbon is in the sky. Which reminds me of a song. Ribbon in the sky.
Ribbon in the
Of
sky.
course it's called that.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Can't be so obvious.
So
They
she
gotta be
has the
obvious.
ribbon. The ribbon actually looks like there's movement in the ribbon, just like the leaves. It doesn't look like that still. It doesn't look like regular print.
It's
It looks
ribbon,
like
mother.
It's ribbon. It looks
It's
like
ribbon.
Exactly. Exactly, Rashawn. It looks like ribbon.
It is ribbon.
It says Betty before X, so that before LeBron, come on.
So we're gonna get some kind of flashback or something probably, or some kind of transformation at the end.
Why didn't you say that when I gave you the book? That's the stuff I be looking for. It also says Betty before X. This word before gives me indication, like he said, it's probably gonna be a flashback. It's probably gonna be
A transformation of like
earlier
like
years
A,
into something
part
else.
A of her character to part B.
When we say before, and she's a little girl, so it looks like they're probably gonna be talking about her life as a little girl. That's what it seems like. This is gonna be about her life as a little girl.
And I was a gal. Watch you say that.
So, out of that, y'all said what y'all said. Y'all got the sky, y'all got the
You
leaves.
squeeze every information out
Squeeze
of it.
everything. Squeeze when I give you
I'm
Ooh,
surprised. I'm
look.
surprised you say the sky is blue.
I just realized something. You see how her
close it down.
Is that tied on her back or is it X2?
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
No, look!
It is.
Look! No, for real, on the back.
Man, they being funny, but okay.
There's ribbons on the back. I don't know, something.
Oh yeah, ribbons. Okay.
That doesn't eventuate into the title either.
Okay, so let's get going. I believe I already read this part in the front of the book, so we just gonna go.
That's what I've back.
No. Here it is. I'm about to read.
Bye bye. Whenever you stop. Don't even smell like apple.
I'm gonna read the prologue in chapter 1. Tomorrow, you guys will be reading chapters each. So you'll read chapter 2, he'll read chapter 3, or vice versa.
I like when you
I know, but gotta move on past that. I like it when you sit up.
but we gotta move past that.
Okay.
We gotta get over this.
I was just a baby when Grandma Matilda took me away from my mother. Go ahead and push
Oh.
pause on here. What's wrong with you?
If you want more videos like this, hit the subscribe button, like, and
Just press
goodbye.
pause.